Yaya Mayweather. A last name that echoes louder than the lives of most people. It's a luxury that most people would never experience. Additionally, the kind of closeness to authority and celebrity that makes her existence seems to be a dream. She completed school with ease at the age of 15. However, she decided to wait until she was 18 to get her diploma in front of the audience. Rather than walking the stage at that time, books are smart, no question, but lately some have been wondering why her heart is so irresponsible when her mind is so keen. What's actually happening underneath, which keeps dragging her into trouble? Beneath the wealth, the glamour, and the appearance of a protected life. A girl made the decision to adore a man who was deemed a degenerate by the internet. You miss it, best friend. You're not a degenerate. Yaya fell for none other than Baton Rouge rapper Contrell Deshaun Golden, better known as NBA Young, as the world gaped in shock. A boy, some referred to it as a phase, while others described it as an impending train crash. Particularly considering that when YoungBoy added Yaya to his harem, he was already the father of several children by several other women. Not the fucking harem. You've played too much best friend. We're delving deeply into Yaya Mayweather's inner life today, exploring the complex relationship that keeps bringing her back. Yaya and the young boy began dating in the latter part of 2018. He was already a father to 4 children by that time, and he was expecting a 5th child with Jania Michelle, his erratic girlfriend. Later, the little boy accused Jania of giving him herpes. However, that is a tale for another time, another day. Neuroscientists claim that the human brain does not reach its full potential until approximately age 25, especially in regions related to impulse control and decision-making. When Yaya and YoungBoy, then 19 years old, started dating in public, she was just 18 years old. Her prefrontal cortex, which controls both emotional and logical thinking, was still developing. Although it doesn't justify everything that transpired, it does help us realize how flimsy her world's foundation might have been when he joined it, and vice versa. Why Yaya's, her family history, is even more terrible. Floyd Mayweather, her father, is a world-renowned boxing champion. But fatherhood and celebrity aren't necessarily related. It's important to consider what kind of emotional currency was traded in exchange for his financial support of her. According to studies on father-daughter interactions conducted by psychologist Dr. Linda Nielsen, girls who believe their fathers are inconsistent or emotionally unavailable are more likely to have low self-esteem and have unhealthy romantic attachments. Stated differently, it's possible that Floyd, who was preoccupied with creating his legacy, unwittingly left his daughter emotionally devastated. John Bowlby first proposed attachment theory, which Mary Ainsworth later developed. It shows how early emotional ties with caregivers influence our choices, how we love, and what we put up with. A strong sense of inadequacy is frequently internalized by daughters whose fathers are emotionally aloof or erratic. Doesn't always show up as clear-cut symptoms. It can occasionally appear as impulsivity, perfectionism, or an almost illogical devotion to those who substitute chaos for consistency. Here comes YoungBoy, a man who is already dealing with legal troubles and is surrounded by a large number of women and children and a volatile reputation. He would appear to be the poorest match to the uneducated eye, yet he may feel at home to someone who is inherently inclined to emotional instability. Jania gave birth to his 5th kid in February 2019. After that, there were rumors that Yaya had cut YoungBoy's tires in March 2019, as she disputed the allegation. He didn't acknowledge that she had cut his tires until months later. In December 2019, when his song Dirty Iyanna was released, Yaya's legal first is Iyanna, name, naturally. Ya shared a video of herself and her mother having fun on Instagram. Few days after the song's release, despite everyone believing it was the end of their situationship. Interview. In the comments. YoungBoy and Yaya even exchanged messages with YoungBoy adding, "I'm laughing so hard. I cherish you. Lol, love you more, baby," was Yaya's response. Why is it so toxic? Then February 2020 arrived. Cecilia, another potential love interest of YoungBoy's, got into an argument with Yaya. Before long, mugshots replaced paparazzi photos in the headlines. Black Jesus, fix it. Yaya was taken into custody in April 2020 after using a knife to hurt Latra Jacobs in a fight at the rapper's house in Houston. You must examine the psychological turmoil that preceded the crime in order to comprehend how Yaya could have escalated to the point of physical violence. Doctor, the nervous system is continuously triggered, and the brain's ability to make logical decisions is significantly compromised when an individual is stuck in an emotionally unstable relationship, according to Judith Lewis Herman, author of Trauma and Recovery. Many young women who are stuck in this cycle, including Yaya, may have absorbed the idea that she had to struggle to earn her position in his life, that she would become another ex, another footnote, another female he abandoned in front of the world if she didn't demonstrate her loyalty or defend herself. None of this, incidentally, justifies the violence. Litra wasn't deserving of being hurt. YoungBoy made a decision to put the event behind him a few weeks later by including an animated picture of him and Yaya on the cover of his album 38 Baby 2. It appeared to be a daring, frantic move to the outside world. However, it probably implied something far more damaging to Yaya verification. He picked her up after the altercation and the arrest. Furthermore, this type of reinforcement buries someone deeper in trauma-based relationships rather than merely drawing them back in. The YoungBoy's actions were a classic illustration of intermittent reinforcement. Unpredictable incentives and poisonous interactions such as spontaneous affection, public praise or presents after the abuse, promote emotional dependency and reinforce the trauma bond. According to Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's explanation in his book The Body Keeps the Score, that same idea is what keeps individuals addicted to casino slot machines. You never know when you'll hit, but when you do, the rush is so intense that it helps you forget about the losses. YoungBoy made a strong psychological statement following the violent episode by praising Yaya on the album cover. "If you defend me, if you put up with the 'I'll pick you' pandemonium, it goes beyond simple manipulation. That's control based on rewards." Was YoungBoy aware of his actions when he raised her at that precise moment? We don't know. YoungBoy gave birth to a baby in June 2020, Nisha Keller, who is also the mother of his firstborn child, a girl named Armani. Thus, while he was dealing with Yaya, he was not only dangling in his exes and spinning the block, but he was also knocking up other women. A month following the arrival of his new baby, YoungBoy posted a picture of himself with an unnamed woman in bed. Yaya disappeared from Instagram shortly after the image went viral. However, she resurfaced a few weeks later wearing shoes that were stamped with the phrase, "Never broke again." A less than subtle reference to the NBA acronym of a rapper. He was imprisoned on weapons charges in September 2020, but before he was sent to the slammer, he naturally sowed a few seeds. A woman named Ray Simone gave birth to a girl in November 2020. Then, in January 2021, 2 months later, Yaya gave birth to Kintrell Jr., the little boy's 7th child. Black Jesus, fix it. It's fantastic that Floyd volunteered to help raise his grandson, who has also shown a love for boxing, and Floyd is utterly enamored with him. The legal problems of the young boy kept growing, and in 2021 he was placed under house arrest in Salt Lake City, Utah. Do you believe that prevented him from kicking someone? No way. His 9th kid, a baby girl named Alice, was born in August 2021 to his current partner, Jacine. Jacine then gave birth to his 10th kid, a boy named Clemenza, in September 2022. Clemenza Yaya was placed on 6 years of probation in December 2022 for hurting La Brea YoungBoy's baby mama. As for YoungBoy, he went online in the end of 2022 to talk about his wish to marry someone other than Yaya. In January 2023, he married Jacine in Utah. You are mistaken to believe that he became a suburban family man after getting married. If we talked about all of his ongoing legal troubles, we would be here all day. He was transferred to a halfway house in Arizona in March 2025. After serving time in federal prison, as of this video, you would assume that after everything that happened, Yaya would put her son's needs first and push aside any thoughts of a romantic relationship with him. All okay, but I got a query. Here, I'm putting up my hand. I'm going to raise my hand. In a halfway house, how do you co-parent with someone? What do you think that looks like? How do you accomplish that? Instead, some internet users speculate that she and YoungBoy may be seeing each other again. He gave her a brand new Lambo SUV as a surprise for her 25th birthday in May 2025. Days later, Yaya proudly displayed her new tattoo, a large, ancient picture of a young boy's face on her arm. Isn't he married? I have no idea why she did it. Where was her father? Where's Floyd? Exactly. Someone bring me my belt, kid. Even as he married, even as he outwardly moved on, and even as he fathered additional children, Yaya, another woman, made the decision to get him a tattoo in his honor. This was not a random act. It's probably stemmed from a desperate attempt to maintain an emotional bond with him and to cling to the hope that, in some perverse manner, she was still his. Her behavior brings us returning to sporadic reinforcement. The brain is trained to want affection like a substance when it is offered irregularly rather than regularly. The times he picks her up, buys her a car, calls her, and shows her his attention are so strong that they take precedence over everything else. Absence, neglect, and betrayal moments. It will be said that she should have realized she had to. Much wealth, too many choices, and too much legacy to fall for a man like YoungBoy. However, trauma is indifferent to your father's wealth. And since you live in a mansion, abandonment doesn't pass you by. Additionally, there is frequently an implicit expectation on young black women like Yaya, who are raised in the spotlight to appear unconcerned, put together, and devoted at all. Costs do stick with your boyfriend even after he publicly humiliates you. This isn't a romance. This narrative tells the tale of a young woman who is attempting to construct love out of whatever shattered fragments she is given. A lady who grew up in a society where material wealth was valued more highly than feelings. However, she never learned what it meant to feel protected from anyone. Because no one had demonstrated to her that there was a difference, she clung to chaos and mistakenly believed that suffering was passion. Yaya may still be seeing YoungBoy. She may be unlearning the notion that love must be painful in order to be genuine. Not because she is still in love or because she isn't aware of the truth. She must eventually cease reducing herself to fit into the confusion of others. She must decide that she is sufficient after glancing at her child and the mirror. Someone needs her whole being, a young soul that observes everything, experiences everything, and eventually learns love via her self-love choices. Because the moment you stop waiting for someone else to heal you, that's when true healing starts. Provide you with the resolution you already deserve. You.